Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, we're GmsLouisianaSaints. Coming back at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, we're going to face the east. And we're going to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Arakakadash.
All right, give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to you, Akim, that's pushing this truth of sincerity and peace and safety as well to the men, women, and children of the earth and elect. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right. And, we pretty much was having a conversation of how Esau, all right, is subtle, all right, with his devices, with his mischief, all right, with the things that are going on right now, all right, in the news pertaining to, the guns, all right, your First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, all of that, man, all right. He's subtiling and trying to take your rights away, man, take your freedoms away, man, all right. But we're going to get some scriptures, and Lord willing, that'll be edifying to whoever may be listening. All right.
Right, and just backing the brother up. As you can see in the news, there's an agenda, all right, that's unfolding behind the scenes, but trickling over to on the scenes, as you can see, right? This NWO, these Georgia Guidestones, this Revelation 13 and 16, Esau is headed towards it at all costs, man. And we're seeing what it's costing him. We're seeing the society being broken down, man. But it's ultimately due to prophecy, all right? It's Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the first verse, it says, Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath the Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
That's right. And it says that the serpent, which is Esau, all right, was more subtle than any beast, which is the nations, man, all right, the people of the earth, all right, of the whole land, all right. And it goes on to say, can you read the latter part again now?
It says, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was the let in, but going into Esau, man, all right? The beast going into what? The people, the field being the world, man. He was the top creature on the left-hand side, man. So he is today. He's still coming back as that top left-handed energy, man, that left-handed deity under the spiritual demon Satan, man. He's the physical counterpart. And what is he doing throughout the entire earth right now? He's fulfilling that rule of prophecy. He has the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, all right? He's going to make war with the Most High, like pertaining to Revelation 12 and 7, all right? The serpent, all right? Satan was cast out, this system, man, because he's going to try to make war with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in the heavens, man. Literally, SpaceX. We're seeing these things come to pass, man. And when we see these things come to pass, who do we identify as the culprit, man? Esau Edom every time, man, because he was there from the beginning doing what? Beguiling Eve to beguile Adam, man. So ultimately, he can do what? Make us transgress. He's doing the same thing on the planet Earth, fulfilling his lot as Esau, man. Trying to make us transgress with his juice, his charagma, his order. Be on time for his order, man. Not on time for the Most High's order. But I got one for you, but keep going on that one. The brother got that word serpent for you. You got it, huh?
All right. Now, this is the definition of the word serpent from Genesis 3 and 1. It says, Strong's H5175, Nakash, and it just says serpent, snake, all right, serpent, image of serpent, fleeing serpent, mythological, okay? Now,
right,
speak on
one more time.
All right, it says serpent, snake, serpent, image of serpent,
image,
fleeing serpent, mythological.
And the image of this serpent, Esau Edom, is what? The system, right? Leading and ultimately being carried by the EU and NATO, man. With that whore sitting on top of the waters, man. Many waters, man. Many nations. Like the Most High is explaining to you right now. It says what? The most subtle beast in the field. Still, who runs America? The elites. Rothschilds, DuPonts, Gators on the left-hand side, man. They're controlling America. Still to this day. So they're fulfilling that lot even from the garden, man. These are the same nation of people, man, that the Most High is identifying. But I got a precept, huh? It's Psalms 58 and 4. They're poison. I'm going to start at 3. It says, I'm going to start at 2. You got it. Psalms 58 and 2. Yea, in heart, ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. So you know what you're doing, man. You know the amount of wickedness that you're performing out of your hands, Esau. You know how much blood you're shedding. You know how much the casualties are. That's why you're able to manipulate the numbers. You're able to tweak certain things. Say, oh, this how many died here. And on the flip side, you can say, oh, this many didn't die, man. But guess what the Most High says? The deceit and the deceiver are his, man. Your works are esteemed as the potter's clay, Esau. And we're about to bring out some of your works in these articles, man. All right, but it says a little bit more. The wicked are estranged from the womb, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
That's right. Speaking lies, man, having a double tongue, man, telling you that this would be beneficial for you. All right, you can go back to normal. Everything will go back to normal. But in the end, they really have an agenda for you. All right, just to put that in you. All right, so that later on it'll fulfill that agenda, man, which is killing you off, man. All right, reducing the population down to 500 million, man. As in the judge of Godstones, man. All right, so that's that devil's plans, man. Because the less people that you have on earth, man, the more, the better it is for you to be able to control them, man. And that's what he wants to do. All right,
that's right. It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. That's right, man. Coming in the most subtle way. You'll have him having you in a state of mind where you're in a mirage state of mind thinking he's coming at you straight forward. But when you see the image of him coming straight forward, you're not aware of all the other angles he's came from that's closing in on you, man. That's likened onto the society that has a vessel iron grip on you so-called Native Americans, Latinos, and Negroes, man. You're not going to know what hit you until you're what? You're already karagmaed up, man. Your house is already destroyed. Like the brother was bringing out, you so-called pastors that are scattered the Most High flock. Now you're turning, all right, away from your so-called craft, your profession, which was what? Getting paid for telling lies, hypocrisy, 501c3 kings, all right? We know about you, man. The prophecy and the prophecies have exposed you. That's why you're catching the heat in the flames right now, man. Because you're going to go out with that serpent, 2/3. But it says, which break their teeth, O power, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions. That's right, man. Because ultimately, your military is going to be brought down. That's your highest form of power, Esau. Your military and your so-called and your ICBM nuclear missiles, man. That's what makes the whole earth afraid of you and fright of you, man, of what you could do with those military powers, man, and those intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's why it tells you in Revelation the 13th chapter that what? He taketh peace from the earth, man. In Revelation the 6th chapter, he taketh peace from the earth with that great sword, man. That's the name that Esau is coming with, and the brother was speaking on it because that sword, that modern day gun Esau, guess what? Your lies are being exposed about that modern day gun. It's going to be a soon uproar involving your double-tonguedness, sworn to your own sword, man. All your blessings are coming in and caving on you, man. They're going to turn on you in the end. But that was it. You got it.
Yeah, because even Yahushua told Peter, put up thy sword. If you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And that's exactly how Esau Edom is going to go out. Okay, you lose the earth via the sword. God, via the sword. And that's exactly how Yahweh Shema Shah is going to take him down. With the sword, which that sword is going to be in the form of the ultimate sword, the ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, but going into that word serpent again, Strong's 85174, Nakash, serpent, snake, serpent, image of serpent, fleeing serpent. All right, now when you go into the root word, Strong's H5172, Nakash, it says to practice divination, divine, observe times, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take as an omen.
Ooh, that's nothing concerning the Most High. That's nothing concerning priesthood, man. That's nothing but left hand. That's a left-handed sword and gift right there, man. That you're able to do on the planet Earth, Esau. Look at all the things you do. Get that Revelation 13, deceiveth the earth, man. How was he able to come on the scene right now and just deceive the earth, man? He had to have been deceiving and have a deceitful nature, man. And like in these courtrooms, what do they say when they're getting ready to convict Jake and send him up the road for life, man? Even though they have what? No evidence against him. When that judge makes that statement, she says what? Well, we make this statement based upon the evidence. He was not only criminal in fact, but criminal in nature, man. Criminal in nature, man. He had it in him. That's Esau Edom, man. It's just in him to do these disobedient, these transgressing things on the planet Earth, man. You got it, bro.
And that's exactly what the prophets are doing, is they're bringing that testimony to Yahweh Shemi Awashai, telling them that, look, this is all the wicked things that Esau is doing, man. Look how he's making our people go off, man. Look at these traps and these snares that he's setting for them to go off, man. Look at all the blood that he shed in the land, man. All right, look at all the land and everything that he's got by by unrighteous dealings, man. All right, and that's what we're saying. And we're bringing it to the Lord, man, and that judgment's being brought down, all right, and we can see it because of what's going on in the world, man, all right? But that's pretty much it.
You have one? You got that Revelation?
Yeah, I got the Revelation.
You got it, bro.
You want me to start at 14?
Yeah.
All right, Revelations 13 and 14.
Start at 13.
Yeah. Revelations 13 and 13. And he does great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
Right. And those great wonders going into your nuclear capability, all right? Robert Oppenheimer, Robert Esau, I become the destroyer of worlds. But the Most High said what? I created the smith that blows the coal. So Esau, you were just given that blessing with the Most High. He's using you, and he's using your blessing to put a whipping stick on Israel and ultimately to deliver Israel, man. All right? Little man and big boy, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you showed off that blessing. That's why you have what? The whole entire earth in fear. In fear, man. But literally that fear that you had, that tainted fear that you had on the earth is failing you, man. Your vintage is failing you, Esau. Those lying wonders, those miracles, all right? Because in order to kill a serpent, you can't cut that tail off. You gotta cut the head off that serpent, man. That's what the Most High is gonna do to you, Esau. You got it now.
All right. Start from the top. This is Revelation 13 and 13. And he does great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deliver them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
Power to do in the sight of the beast, man. The EU and the NATO, because that's that whore that's sitting upon many waters, man. But ultimately, they're gonna burn that whore like the scriptures speak of, man. America's allies are gonna turn against him. All right, these other nations are gonna turn against him, pertaining to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, man. And there's gonna be a total all-out war on the streets of America from within, man. This thing is gonna start within, man. You got it, bro.
All right, and it says, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound of a sword and did live.
Right, because you fell, all right, and you came back during that Renaissance period, man. Byzantine Empire, all the way up into here from 1619, all right, those 350 years leading up to 1969, around the time for where Jake started waking up, Apple Biblical, man. King Mashot, all right, High Priest Arian, all right, laid the foundation for what? Jake's to get this truth, man. The Lord had to come up on the scene, and prophecies had to come to pass before what? Certain things happen. Just like pertaining to Yahushua said, certain things had to come to pass. This had to happen here. This had to happen there, so it could be fulfilled. That what? Yahushua, Bethlehem, and so on and so forth, man. So the same thing happens in this time, man. You got it, brother. Speak on it.
No, I was just gonna say, like the scriptures say that, this generation shall not pass until, all these things come to pass, man. Pretty much the prophecies. So just as the time before, it's the time now, man. Right, we're in the time of prophecy. Want me to continue on in that?
Yeah, you can read.
everything.
Yeah.
All right, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that which many as would have worship as not would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, man, because that's a double-sided coin. You got those that are going to be deceived and give life to the image, and you got those that are going to love their life not unto death, man. For the cause of Yahweh by Shimon Shai, and Lord willing, that latter be us, man. We want to be found in grace and mercies of the Lord when these calamities happen, man. That's why we're doing this right now. That's why we're exposing Esau. That's why we're telling you that the things that Esau puts out is ultimately going to lead to something. It's ultimately going to lead to that Revelation 13 and 16, man. It's going to lead to a cashless society, all right? It's going to lead to a crashing of the hills, man, the economy. This place is led to a dead end, and like the other was going into it. If you can't see these things, with all these things happening on in the news, man, all these prophecies popping off, man. If you can't see these things, you're in a total bugged out state of mind, man. No matter how much money you got, no matter how much cars you got, how much statue you got, man. Your spirituality is what matters the most, man. Forget this social status here. You got it, brother. What was it on there? You had one of mine? You got it.
That was it for the word serpent.
That was it? All right. Yeah, cool. Backing that up. All right. Let's look at Proverbs chapter 23. I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye. And that's talking about Esau Edom, man. Because Esau, he has an evil eye. So this bread that he's giving you, this wine, this philosophy, these doctrines, this serpent sauce, this juice that you've taken and still taking, Jake's still taking it, this charagma that you're gonna take, man, he has an evil eye. So once you start consuming that food, he just gets like a big bad wolf, man. Greedier and greedier, man. Like the scriptures say, what it tells you in Job, get that, the Most High is gonna make it rain while he's eating, man. In the midst of him, man, he's gonna be eating so much, and he's not gonna stop, man. He's not gonna stop pushing this agenda. The gas prices are not gonna stop going up. The food prices are not gonna stop inflating, man. This place is headed for a civil war hit inside of America and outside of America. But it says, Proverbs 23 and 7, it says, neither desire thou his dainty meats. That's right, man. That's what makes us pertain to Matthew the 25th chapter. It makes us what? Virgins, man. Because we're not defiled by the meats of the society. We're not defiled by the things that Esau has put forth and pushed at our table, man. We don't want the king's dinner, man. All right? We don't want any meat to this king, man. We don't want to get defiled by that, because being defiled by that, you're only being and caving in and giving in to what? A person that has an evil eye, like the scriptures say. It says, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, meaning go ahead, go get that juice. Go down. Go to the polls, go to the voting polls, join the military. Go in that whorehouse, go join the church, get baptized, get dumped in that water. Right? Leading you Jake's life. But it says, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart, meaning his mind, his heart is not with thee. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words. Yeah, man, lose the truth, man. Lose this wisdom and knowledge and understanding. You're going to vomit it up, man, because what? It was not meant to digest, man. Just like when it tells you in Genesis, the 3rd chapter, man. The Most High said what? Eat not from that tree, man. Go not amongst those nations and start eating and mixing and mingling in their doctrine, in their idols, worshiping them, man. Or you're going to be what? You're going to be in the congregation of the dead. You're going to have the curses upon you. All right? You're going to be like he separated Adam and Eve, man. That sin, that transgression, man. But who's sneaking and sliming in there to try to create that transgression? The most major transgression of all time, which is that corruption, man. Esau Edom is at the head of that, man. You got it, man.
All right, this is Job 20, and let's see.
You got it, man. Wait for this couple.
Yeah, Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, we shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. It says, then when he is about to fill his
Right.
belly,
Get that word straight for the brother out.
it
Read
says,
it from the top, bro.
it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
Right, and Esau, that serpent is doing what? It's growing because Revelation 13 said what? He deceived them. Now they're giving light to the image. They're giving light to that serpent and making it grow. And that serpent is going to try to buck up to the Most High, man. With his military, with his mighty men. But they're going to be destroyed, man. And he's going to be cast out, like it says in Revelation 12 and 7. He's going to be cast out and found no more, man. Neither was his place found in heaven, meaning that rulership. His rulership was taken out. You got some more of it? You got that word?
Mm-hmm.
He gonna bring it out for you.
All right. All right. Now this is the definition of the word straits from Job 20 and 22. It says Strong's H 3334. It says Yatazar, and it says to bind, be distressed, be in distress, be cramped, be narrow, be scant, be in straits, make narrow, cause distress, besiege. All right, and to suffer distress. That's it on that.
Yeah. So pretty much Esau is gonna be in disarray, like disarray. He's gonna be in trouble, man, in that time. All right. As it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, man. All right. Because what Yahweh Shai, I'm gonna continue on because it actually says it. All right. It says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Then, when he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast his fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it down upon him while he is eating, man. All right, so just when he's about to fulfill, his agenda and his heart's desire, man, the Lord's gonna strip it away from him, man, take it away from him, man. All right, that's why it says he should be in straits, man. All right, you guys want to speak on it?
Yeah, man. So ultimately, the Most High, the ultimate underdog story is being foretold, has been foretold and being played out on the planet Earth with us, man. Lord willing, we're in that number. We're in the spots to say, well, you know what? We know what the Most High has planned, but Lord willing, He have mercy upon us so we can make it through these things, man. We know these are serious times. We're speaking on it. We're the poster children for what? Speaking on serious times, serious matters, man. Warnings, admonishing, man. We do that. We've done that across the four corners, man. From the apostles on down to the least of us. We told her the story. This book of what? Lamentations, warnings, and woes, man. There's going to be a lot of woes. The scriptures say that third woe coming quickly. That's that third woe's war. But you got one of mine, you do it, bro.
Now, y'all want to start going to some of the articles?
Yeah.
All right,
I got a quick one while y'all get the articles. This is just backing the brother up about that streets. This is Psalms 2 and 1, because ultimately these other nations of under Esau, they're gonna be held in straits as well, man. China, North Korea is gonna be in the strait, Russia is gonna be in the strait, because in their minds, they all want that next step, they all want that next policy, man. They all want to ultimately liken and fashion themselves to America, but they want it under their umbrella, man. China wants the Americanized ways that whine, all right, that democratic, you know what I'm saying, certain ways, but they want it under their system, man. They want to tailor it to them, man. And the Most High not having that. This is Psalms 2 and 1. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth are who? China, Russia, North Korea, all right, Iran, Turkey, America, all right? Because Israel sure don't have a military, man. We don't have any working worldly military, man. We got the angels, man. We got Yahweh Bashim Yam Shah, but it says the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel. The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together. Yes, he said that's right. Against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us, man. So ultimately, they want because because Israel is the gold and silver, would not another nation looking afar off and seeing how much merchandise America has, seeing how much slaves they have? That's how these other nations are looking at America. They're envying it, man. They want those slaves over there, and we're those slaves over here, man. But it says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. That was just basically the point of it. The Lord's going to have them in the straits, man. The Lord's going to laugh at you, man, because the earth is his footstool. You got it, bro. I got it.
First article? Yeah. I got one on Biden, addressing the whole gun control thing.
Yeah, we can get to that right quick, because that goes into the John 11. You can pull that one. And then you can go into your testimony. But you got it, bro.
All right. Now this is from theguardian.com. Okay, and it says the article that I have pulled up says Biden calls for assault weapons ban in fiery speech. How much carnage will we accept? Okay, and if for some of you brothers that's watching, if you had a chance to watch that speech that Biden gave last night, where he was addressing, the latest mass shootings that's been taking place around the country over the past week or two, and addressing gun control and things like that. Ultimately, basically he proposed the idea, okay, to ultimately ban the sale on assault weapons and automatic machine guns. Okay,
Right.
so it says going back to the article, it says.
Two precepts.
All right. So the article says, in a primetime gun control address, the president pushed stronger background checks and repealing gun manufacturer immunity. All right. It says Joe Biden has urged for a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines after a series of mass shootings that stunned America, demanding how much more carnage are we willing to accept?
Right. And the scriptures tell you a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So in one breath, America is saying, just like the situation for Roe v. Wade, in one breath, they're saying, illegalize it, legalize it. Then the next breath, they're saying, illegalize it. Same thing with gun control. One minute, they're saying, legalize it. The next minute, ban it. Let's get it all in. But all of those answers, whether legalize or illegalize, cater to their agenda, man. Cater to that double tongue. This is I got two real quick. This is Sirach 5:13. Real quick, it says, honor and shame is in talk, and the tongue of man is his fall. And that's been the tongue of America, whether it had actually been the tongue of their political leaders or the tongue going into their laws like the brother was going into, man. There are amendments, because in 1 minute, they're saying what? First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, right to bear arms, free from unwanted searches. Going into the next minute, they're saying, oh, override that, F all that, abort it, man. We're gonna go. We gotta put this charagma into place. We gotta come down with great wrath on these Israelites. Screw that. Let's go on to this plan.
I got you right here.
You got it, brother.
This is James 1:8. It says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, man. All right, and that's Esau either, man. Again, going into what the brother was saying, man. All right, you have one side saying yes, ban the guns, and then you have another side saying give them more liberty. All right, and that's a double-minded man, man, and that's a house divided, man. And the scriptures say a house divided shall not stand, man. All right.
They just backing you up. You got it. Psalm 64:8. It says, "So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away."
Yeah, man. It says, I'm sorry. I'll read that one more time.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Yeah, they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, man. All right. Oh, I thought you said this, man, but really, it's really the other. All right. And it says what? And people shall what?
And all that see them shall flee away.
And all that see them shall flee away, man. Oh, man, this ain't pertaining to the other nations, going back to their own land, man, seeing how corrupted that this place is. All right. Americans, being in the uproar, man. All right, that's what the scriptures are speaking about, man, and it's being played out on the earth right now today. All right.
And this is a mirror of what the brother of mine reading, what the brother just went into. This is a mirror of what happened to the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
These things that are happening on the streets of America is synonymous and reincarnated from the Roman Empire. Wars of the people. You have harsh, brutal taxes like the brother was going into that 14th Amendment. You got the Israelites being in the neck of the enemy, man. What Yahweh Shai was speaking about, man. So that's us, man. Lord willing, we in a number. Just a quick one. Because the scriptures say what? The kingdom divided shall not stand, man. This is what happened, all right, during the Roman Empire, man. Second Ezra 11 and 3, and I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small, man. Because you ultimately had what? A division, backstabbing, murdering, all right? You got Julius Caesar that was violently stabbed down, et tu Brute, you too Brutus, all right? You got different emperors that went at each other, killed each other off, planned to assassinate each other. That's the same thing that's going on in America, man. Systematically, man. Literally, man. Like the scripture tell you in Revelation that a measure of wheat for a penny going into that Roman denario, man. This is just a Roman captivity reincarnated, man. This is what we dealing with, and it's gonna fall just like Rome did. You got it, brother.
And speaking of what you just mentioned about the denarian, you know, to further show that, you know, we're in the reincarnated Roman Empire. Now, the word dollar, you know, what is the word dollar in the Spanish language? You know, like how do you say dollar in Spanish? Any of us know? It's dinero. Right. That's literally how you say dollar in Spanish. Dinero. Okay. You know, that further, you know, shows you that this so-called U.S. dollar, which is really a Federal Reserve note, is just a modern day denarius from ancient Rome, which, you know, just like ancient Rome, you know, it came to, you know, at one point it was a dominating currency throughout the known world at that time, but then eventually what? Through you know, corruption and corrupt politics and corrupt policies, eventually it started to what? You know, lose its value to what, you know, to the point to where it was overthrown. You know?
Yeah, that's right, bro. Just like you got a dollar on you out.
No.
When you go home, get a dollar out, and it's gonna tell you what? Debt tender, man.
Mm-hmm.
This money system is debt, man.
Yeah.
This is debt, man. Having money is debt, man. So-called money in this society, that paper value, that dollar, man. That's a debt tender, man. Bring it up, bro.
Yeah, it says this note is a legal tender for all debts, public and private.
One more time, brother.
It says that this note is legal tender for all
legal
debts,
property.
Yeah.
For
all debts, public and private.
All debts,
right.
Public and private.
Yeah.
Now, if there wasn't going to be debt, there wouldn't be a need for this.
Yeah.
If debt wouldn't come and be placed in the society as a leverage, there would be no need for this, right? Because the scriptures, we don't deal with money in this form of sin. Can I use this word? We don't deal with money in this form of sin. Money is gold, silver, cattle, land. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Yeah. Esau deals with paper currency, which puts you into debt. That's how you know we're slaves, man. This college system is slavery. This education system is slavery. This military is damn for sure slavery. All right? And what? This religious system is slavery, man. This government. You got it, bro. You asked me what to bring on the mic?
That was pretty much all I wanted to say, you know, concerning the economy and the money and all that. You know, because when you spoke about the denarius, I was literally meditating on it this morning. Like, you know, in the Spanish, the word dollar in Spanish is literally dinero.
Right.
You know, which goes back to the denarius.
That's right, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's what's ultimately going to happen. Like the brother Hamas posted this morning about the gas going up. Ultimately, that Revelation 6 and 6, I got it real quick right here. Revelation 6 and 6, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts going to the angels. It says, a measure of wheat for a penny. All right? Get that word penny out in the blue letter. It says, for a penny, man. And we're going to get into that word penny, and it's going to show you, like it's going into, dinero, man. All right? Which was a Roman silver coin, which was what? Basically equivalent to a tenth of a time. Roughly paraphrasing. I'm going to let the brother bring it out. Well, I'm going to read it one more time. It's Revelation 6 and 6. It says, Because the brother showed them that picture you showed us, because this is a part of what's going on right now, man. You got cars passing behind us right now on the way to traffic. But are these same cars gonna be passing when the gas go up to $6-7? Hell no, man. When you got no electricity and it's a blackout and it's not even a need to get on the road unless you trying to get the hell up out of Dodge, and you can only get so far. That's why we need the Lord, man. You got it, brother.
You want him to bring out his thing first?
I'm gonna just bring out the Revelation 6:6.
I got that word in everything.
All right. It says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. You got it, bro.
All right. Now this is the word penny for Revelation 6:6.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion.
All right, and it says containing 10. It says under definition A Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name from it being equal to 10 asses.
Ooh, one more time, bro.
God, it says it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses.
Right, to 10 asses. And then I think when you go into it, it tells you a typical pay for a day's work.
Yeah.
Does it say that?
Yeah.
You got it, bro.
It says a number after 217 BC increased to 16. Okay, so in other words, it inflated, right? It says a number after 217 BC increased to 16.
Right, man. So the part about read where it says a Roman silver coin, just pull it up to the camera.
All right, so definition under definition 1A, it says a Roman silver coin in New Testament time.
Right, man. And this was the coin, the monetary system in ancient Rome, man. What did they have on the front of those silver coins, man? The faces of those devils, man. The faces of those emperors, man. The faces of those contrary feathers, man. So as they do this day, man. And when a brother's going into the dineros, you got 1/10 of a time. So that would be something like, okay, you got something for $5 meal, right? That $5 meal will be a $50 meal. It'll inflate to $50 off. In the other case with the brother where it went up a 16 times, even more than that. I'm not gonna try to do the math, but even more than that, $50, man. And then you can liken that onto what? Like the brother read, a typical pay for a day's work. So liken that on to going to work for a 9-hour shift, right? And a loaf of bread being that price. Or to fill up your car, you know what I'm saying? A daily necessity that we need being that price, man, of a day's work. Them had to work. I made just the average jig make maybe $200 a shift. Say $200. You walk in the store, a gallon of water or a case of water is $200, man, for a day's work, man.
Pretty much the day's work. Pretty much the day's worth of work would be equivalent to one item. Is what the brother's saying.
Right, bro. That's right.
Like whether it be meat, all right, or eggs, or anything like that. All of these things are gonna inflate because they're gonna be in high demand. And the more that something is in high demand, the higher that the price is gonna be. All right. So that's what the days are approaching, man. That's the reason why the government, all right, and these the higher ups are destroying the food, man, because the more demand that people are going to be asking for it, all right, they'll start to rise it up, man. All right, just out here in Louisiana, all right, during the time of hurricane season, all right. Usually people go to the stores and buy up all kind of bread, all kind of milk, all kind of water, and all those
prep.
They prep pretty much, man. All right, and those prices of those items shoot up, man. All right, water, a case of water might be, I don't know, $3-4. All right, but in the time of a hurricane, all right, when people are buying large quantities of them, all right, it can shoot up to $10, all right, or higher, and I've seen it, all right. So, but that's just on on a low scale, man. What about whenever, you know,
Come, bro.
United States going throughout all of America, man, all of Babylon. All right, it's gonna get even worse, man. All right.
Right. And when the worth of the dollar decreases, but the needs for the
Yeah.
goods to buy certain necessities increases, what do you have? An imbalance. You have a crash in the system. You have a out with the old, in with the new. Now, what's the new? We know something that starts with new, and that's New World Order, man. That's what these Amalekites, these kite, fly one in the air, kite. All right, I don't want to trigger it.
They're not gonna flag it. If you say
Okay.
that.
Yeah, man. These small headers, these 1948ers, man. Fake Jews. Those are the ones. Those,
Don't say that.
all right, those are the ones. The water. Those are the ones that are our enemy, man. That seek to persecute us and destroy us, man. Psalms 83. Psalms 83 wasn't talking about like the elders going into these little Joe Blow Edomites on a low level, man. Nah, man, that's talking about the top. Light, they call them light bearers for a reason, man. They're light bearers on that left-hand side, man. But if I can read a little bit more, it's Revelation 6:6. It says, "And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." That's talking about the truth, man. Because ultimately, what? This truth, he's gonna come and try to destroy that third temple, man. Like he did the first, and the second was destroyed 70 AD. He's gonna try to destroy that third temple, but it's not gonna happen, man. All right? Because Scripture says this, backing it up. Proverbs 21:20. It says, "There is treasure to be desired and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up," man. And Esau, we know you're very foolish. 2/3 of Jake, you're top foolish, man. All right? You don't have, like the brother was bringing out, if the gift was in you, why would you be saying, "I'm stressed out, I'm departing from my career path"? This is our career path, man. We don't get stressed out and we don't say when the going gets good, the tough get going, man, and the tough is us. You got it, bro. That was it on that.
Yeah, because even Paul, told Timothy, I believe that's 2 Timothy 1:7.
Get it out.
God,
Get it.
matter of fact, I'm gonna just read it, instead of trying to roughly paraphrase it. All right, real quick, give me a second.
Yeah, man. We're about perseverance, man. We're about endurance. You got it. We're about enduring, man. That's literally a characteristic of our faith, man. To endure. The scriptures say what? If thou endure to the end, you shall be saved, man. The righteous shall scarcely be saved. You got it, bro.
All right, God, it's 2 Timothy 2:3. I got the wrong scripture, but real quick, this is 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy chapter 2:3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua and Mashiach. Yeah, so basically, the Apostle Paul gave Timothy, a straightforward commandment. Endure hardness because, the times that we're living in right now. Okay, we seriously, gonna have to pray to Yahweh Shema Shai for a strong mind. Okay, because for some of us we're gonna be, without resources, without food, without electricity, without gas. Okay, and possibly even without a home. Okay, being homeless, but despite all of that, we're gonna have to, endure. Okay, and be good soldiers because what soldier goes out into the battlefield and doesn't expect for things to get difficult. That's the condition of the battle.
Right. It would defeat the purpose of you being called a soldier. You would
Right.
be called something else. Like apart from me, I never knew you.
Yeah.
We know that category is gonna fall on 2/3 of our people, man. We don't want to be found in that category. We want to be a strong soldier, man. Does that mean bear arms? No, man. That don't mean get carnal. It means get spiritual. I got one after you.
I got a quick definition, real quick.
You got it.
Now, this is the definition of the word soldier from 2 Timothy 2:3. I'm gonna let this play real quick.
Strong's G 4757. Stratiotes.
Stratiotes. And when you look at the way it's spelled, it basically looks similar to the word straight. stratiotes, straights, straight gate, and so on and so forth. It says a common soldier, metaphorically a champion of the cause of Hamashiach.
Champion of the cause, man. That's honorable right there. If you're a champion of the cause, talking about the Lord's cause, you deem honorable, man, in the sight of the Lord. Even unto death, man. The scriptures tell you precious in the sight of the Most High is the death of His saints, man. So we're champions for the cause, Lord willing, man. That's why you see us committing to the cause. Jake want to give to every other cause under the sun except this one true cause, man. You got it, man.
Yeah, because, like it just says, in the Greek word, stratiotes, when you're a soldier, enlisted in the army, in which in this case, this ministry is a spiritual army, okay, a spiritual army. When you're a soldier, a part of this spiritual army, you were enlisted to go, through straits, okay, to go through difficult times, to go through hardness, okay, because all those things ultimately, strengthen you as a soldier, makes you a better soldier, because, even as Jake in the world says, that which doesn't, that which don't kill me makes me stronger. I'm just roughly paraphrasing it, but, all of these are, these difficult things that we go through in this shoot, it's all for the purpose of, making you stronger and making you a better sacrifice to Yahweh Shemel Shai,
I got you right here.
You got it?
This is Luke 14:28. It says, for which of you intended to build a tower, sitting not down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Least happy after ye have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it being to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish.
Now, we all on spiritual assignments, so you got to finish the course of your assignment that the Lord gave you, man. This brother got an assignment, that brother got an assignment, I got an assignment, Lord willing, we are that number, but we all have to finish that course like Apostle Paul said, man. Finish the course, man. We want to run that course with the Lord, though, being backed by the Lord. We don't want to run the course of this world because it's going to lead to a bitter end. My brother's got it. Looking for this other one.
Got one right?
That was the one you had? Yeah. All right. I got it. All right. Let's put it in Matthew. All right. Chapter 10, verse 22. How shall I speak it? It says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Yeah, man. We run this race to finish, man, not like others. All right, not to be here for a phase, like the brother said. You got to count the cost, man. You can't be here today and gone tonight. Gone tomorrow. You got to say, well, I'm building this foundation, and I want to see this thing through. I want to see these prophecies come into fruition. I want to see the Most High deliver the nation of Israel, even if it means me being a martyr, even if it means me catching holy hell, even if it means me going out in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. But not at any other cause, man. And the brother brought out a good point about that straightforwardness, man. He was given a straightforward commandment. Because the brother brought out earlier in that word subtile believes it goes into indirect. That's how Esau comes, man. Esau is not straightforward, he's indirect, man. The system is indirect.
I'm back.
You got it, brother.
This is Acts 14:22. It says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. All right, by Shem Yahushua. All right, so through much tribulation we are going to enter into the kingdom. And there was a post that like he was going into. There was a post of these different pastors saying that they're gonna fall back from their position because they're going through loneliness, suffering, all right, so forth and so on, man. But we are continuing to this race, man. All right, and as the scriptures say, man, in that day you shall know who the prophets are, man, because they stuck to their guns, man. All right, they stuck to the faith, man. They stuck in the race. All right, they ran the race, man. All right.
I'm gonna pull up the article right now, just so they can
right.
see exactly what article we're talking about.
Yeah.
All right, now earlier, this is from a community post by the LDS Rambas YouTube page, Remnant Save 144. And as you can see from the title of the article, and I hope y'all can see that too. Basically, it's going into how, you have a lot of these church pastors that are basically, quitting from being pastors, because, they're stressed out, they're lonely. Okay, they're having to, deal with the politics of this world. Okay, and none of those things are reasons to, to quit from being a so-called pastor of God, so to speak, because they claim to, to be the men of the Lord and things like that. But here it is, they're quitting, and here it is, in the midst of all these prophecies that's going on, okay, all of these end time prophecies, these pastors pick a time like this to want to, step down from their positions. Okay, now here it is. Now just imagine, right? If you, part of a basketball team. All right, Con.
You done? You got it.
All right, Con. Now just imagine, if you're a part of a basketball team or a football team, right? And you playing for the championship title, and then all of a sudden, during the fourth quarter of the game, towards the end of the fourth quarter of the game, all of a sudden, you decide to quit on your team. Like how would that make you look? That would basically make you look like a damn coward, a sucker. And that's exactly what these pastors are, according to this article, quitting because of they're stressed out, they're lonely, dealing with politics and things like that. Yeah. Well, what in the hell you think the prophets of the scriptures? Oh.
Just a little bit. Like your hands was.
Yeah. I'm talking with the hands gestures and stuff. When I get excited.
I got precept too. Yeah, all right, I got precept after you.
But yeah, these guys, these pastors, they're quitting because, they're stressed out and they're lonely. Well, what in the hell you think the prophets in the scriptures were going through? Okay, Elijah, Ezra, okay, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Daniel, Habakkuk, and so on and so forth. They were going through these same exact things, but they didn't quit. Look at the apostles. Okay, the scriptures tell you in Revelation 12, the apostles loved not their lives unto the death. And why was that? Because they were going through the same exact things. Stressed out because of those Jakes that were of the circumcision, persecuting the church, the Roman Empire. Okay, but they didn't quit from their jobs. Okay, they endured to the end, like good soldiers in Yahweh Shema Shah.
Like you said, like you had said, you had said that you had gave the analogy of football, man, and it's like whenever you're in the fourth quarter, all right, and you're right there on the line, all right, and you going for a 2-point conversion to win the game, all right, and your whole defensive line decides to take the bench, man, all right. Well, that's right now in the spirit, all right, what's going on with these pastors, man, all right. We getting into the heat of the battle, all right, we in the heat of the battle right now, all right, spiritually, and the fact that the truth is coming out and we're breaking down these scriptures, all right, you have the people going to the congregation, going to these pastors, asking them questions, man, and that's why they said what they said in that article, man, all right. The heat is being turned up, man, more and more and more, man, and these people are requiring questions to the things that's going on in these times, all right. And I'm gonna read this scripture right here. It says, this is Jeremiah 3 and 15, and it says, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, my mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, man. And like it says, I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, man. They're not gonna fall back, all right. They're not gonna say, okay, this is too much for me. No, man. They're gonna give you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you need to know, man. All right, to sustain yourself in this day, man. To sustain yourself in these days, man. All right. They're not gonna fall back into the world.
Ooh, beautiful that you said that. What about? Yeah, man. The purpose of all of we being that number, we're not backing up. We're not afraid of anything. We're actually bringing out controversial points and upbraiding the people. This is Isaiah 30 and 20, just backing you up. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers, man, be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. And we see our teachers from the apostles of Great Millstone going down to the least of us. And we take heed under that same mindset, under that same fashion, man. being ready and being a good soldier for Yahweh Shamashiach, man. You got it, bro.
Oh, you got.
Yeah, I had one.
Okay.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
You had one before me.
I just
All right.
the Jeremiah document out one more.
Just a little bit while you get that. It's Sirach 34:1. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lifted of fools. Whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth a shadow and followeth after the wind." And that's ultimately going to be all that blood that you so-called pastors have on your hands, man. All those fake analogies, fake mindsets that you fostered into the American people, man, into these households. Their prosperity doctrine. Take the Jews doctrine. Be docile. Let your enemy run over you doctrine. Join hand in hand with your doctrine. The Lord loves everybody doctrine, man. All those doctrines are getting exposed. And when you put them on the table and line them up, you pork chop eating pastors and sister shrimp, deacon ribs, when you put it all on the line against the truth, that's why you're frustrated. That's why you're backing out, man. That's why you're experiencing distress and loneliness, man. The Most High said he would send a comforter to comfort us, man, in these days. Not for us to be lonely and seeking covering, man. That's because all those false idols and false gods, the covering that you saw from them, they're now in vain, man. That check that you've been cashing in and that check been cashing and depositing into your account all the time, and you keep getting that little thrill feeling when you get money into your account. But now, every time you push that withdrawal button, you get a red no, decline. So now you're lonely, man. You can't get those withdrawals from this world, man. You're having withdrawals. But it says, of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? And that started with Esau Edom, but you 2/3, you're liking onto him because you're of your father the devil, man. Like the scripture said, and I think one of you brothers mentioned it earlier, about that, it says right here, Sirach 34 and 34, of an unclean thing what can be cleansed, and from what thing which is false, what truth can come. Brother quoted earlier, like, should a throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, man? Should we have fellowship with Esau Edom, that framing mischief by law with the brother? You got some more on that article? Like framing mischief by law, man? That's what he's doing. The so-called governor of the society did what? Entered in 77 new decrees, all right, accepting these things into the legalization of Louisiana, man.
You want to bring that article out?
Yeah, you can bring it out. And one of the main things, go to the one at it's 157.
Okay.
157. Yeah, man, 157. And he's crafty, man. And look at the word, and the brother's gonna bring out the different subtlety that he uses in the wording. Because remember, these sites that we log into, Aki, these Google accounts, these sites we log into and got username and passwords for, who is that being monitored by, man? Who's controlling that? Esau Edom, man. You got it, bro.
All right, now this is off of the Newsbreak app that brothers have been sharing amongst each other, this morning and whatnot. All right, so this is off of Calcasieu.info. All right, which Calcasieu is the name of a parish here in Louisiana. All right, this is from Calcasieu.info. It says Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards has signed 77 bills into law and vetoed 2.
77, man. Completion, man. Louisiana's going to get hit hard, man. Me and the brothers been speaking about it. Brothers got several articles going into strong tempest, going into gas prices inflating, going into the scarcity of food, all leading up into one thing, a crashing of the hills, man. A crashing of the society and the system. And those decrees right here that he entered, that's going to have a major effect on the up and coming days, man, in the society and in the state that you guys got.
All right, it says Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards has signed 77 bills into law and vetoed 2. It says on June 2nd, 2022, Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards announced that he signed 77 bills into law and vetoed 2 bills either entirely or partially using his line item veto authority. Okay, you want to bring out that other picture that you sent afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one, I believe it's 157.
Yeah.
You got it, brother.
All right, now, The brother Wadia also sent a picture, where it showed like some of the bills that he signed, right? Now this is ACT 157. This is one of the bills that he signed. Okay, ACT 157 HB 521. It says provides for catastrophe response plans.
Catastrophe response plans. So notice here in Louisiana we have a particular calamity, all right, a particular judgment from the Lord that regularly hits this state frequently, and we're known for it's called hurricane season, right? And we have also other things that hit this place on top of hurricane season that may need what? Catastrophe, disaster, preparation, plans. But notice where that plan is coming from. If you click, can you click on it out in that one? If you click, when you go into it on the website and you click on it, it shows you who went into signing it, all right, a representative, all right, Republican representative. And when you go into it again, it says insured, man. So they're masking this thing under, okay, if something happens, a hurricane hits this place, those catastrophe plans are going to have to do with people's insurance. Okay, you can get this covered, you can get that covered. But nah, man. All right, we know they can go into whatever Esau makes it. Hid under that title of what? Bring out the title again up. All
right, it says ACT 157 HB 521 provides for catastrophe response plans.
Catastrophe response plans, man. Meaning what? They could put martial law on the streets of this society. It could be draconian laws, all right? Because once this catastrophe hits, it's going to lead to what? Electricity outages. People getting misplaced. People having to migrate. Oh, I'm going here, I'm going there. That means what? The more crime, man. So they want an ability to put into the law that they could come down and persecute you jakes, man. Catastrophe plans, man. Preparation plans, man. Brother got a precept. I know you have one. You got it.
All right, this is Isaiah 10:1, and it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, and that's Esau Edom, man. He makes these laws, all right, not to benefit you, man, all right, but to put you in the hole, man, all right, to put you in a predicament. And that's the reason why all of these things, these events are happening around the world, all right, pertaining to these gun shootings and everything like that, because it's order out of chaos, man. All right, he sets up, these different people, all right, to commit these crimes, all right, and then he comes, in, all right, like a serpent, all right, and say that, y'all people, y'all can't, y'all don't know how to conduct yourselves, so now we have to take the guns away, man. All right, that's the way the devil moves. All right,
right, bro. That's more, bro.
You wanted me to click on the actual article, right?
Yeah, you can click on it. You have some on Isaiah 10 now? Read to 2.
It says, verse 2, it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of the people.
Sure, but you got to select that.
All right, I'm going to start from the top again. It says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they prescribe.
Right. Which they prescribe, meaning what? That Senate House, which is modern day what? We have so-called representatives. They're all up where? At the state capitol. This is Rome all over again, man. Sending these things up to the governor. He signs off on it. He vetoes it if he don't like it, to his discretion, man. And they may say, oh, no, it's not his discretion. It has to come up this certain ladder, this certain chain. But what's the agenda behind it, man? Who is it going to benefit? Who is it going to hurt? You got it, Amaya.
All right.
Oh, they have some more? You got it, brother. Whoever was.
The brother got it.
All right. This is going going further into that bill that John Bell Edwards passed. Okay, ACT 157, right? Now it says insurers, well, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna read above it. It says, and this is from legis.la.gov. okay, legis.la.gov, it says HB 521 by Representative Mike Huball, all right, by Representative Mike Huball,
Who's also a Republican,
Mhm.
all right, well-known Republican, all right, who's also what do they call it? He's pro it before, right?
Yeah.
He's pro the bill that's gonna allow the legalization of concealed carry weapons without a permit. You got it, brother.
all right, it says HB 521 by Representative Mike Huball, it says insurers provides for catastrophe response plans.
Right, man. Insurers provide for catastrophe response plans. Now we know that ultimately, when a so-called major catastrophe happens, they send in places like what Red Cross, Blue Shield, FEMA, these certain agencies, the National Guard, okay, the Army, certain things that do what? Invoke safety, bring back order, bring back peace, provide aid, provide different, what do they say, like different care packages, like the military has. You know how we're gonna go in this community, monitor it, build it back up again. But now there's a certain law like the brother's gonna bring out within that provides for a catastrophe plan. Now, what's within that plan? Do we get to see that plan? Are they going to make that plan known? That's why this devil is subtle, man. He puts an unrighteous decree in the law, but the unrighteous decree has an underlying bias, an underlying issue against Israel, man. You got that Psalm 94? I got it. I'll bring it out for you. I'll bring it out for you.
All right, this is Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Right. And thee is talking about what? Israel, man. Shall the throne of iniquity, because Esau has a throne, man. He has a throne on that left-hand side, man. The scripture tell you in Revelation, on his head, he wore many crowns. Esau has a crown right now, man. He has a power, rulership on the planet Earth, man. But what is he doing with it? He's invoking hell, man. He's invoking wickedness. He's invoking a vibration that has to be put out, man. This vibration cannot last upon the earth. You see what's happening in the earth. The earth is very gloomy, man. It's mourning right now, man. The inhabitants are mourning. The society is mourning. The squeeze is on, man. This guy's got the squeeze on this place, man. You got it, huh? Salak.
It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? By a law, Salak.
Frameth mischief by a law, man. So he'll have a law, and law going into what? Just, man. Law is supposed to be just, man. It's supposed to be beneficial. It's supposed to have order in it, man. It's supposed to benefit everyone. But not everyone is kept under it. You get what I'm saying? Israel is kept under the law, but ultimately the law is going to benefit all you nations, man. Whether it be for good or evil, but it's going to be under that law, man. And under Esau's law, you have mischief, you have underlying things, you have amendments. Get that word amendment on you. I know you got one, you got one. You got two, you can bring it out too. But that word amendment, man, because amendment is a good reflection of what the society is. It's subject to change. It's confused. It's in utter darkness. Y'all brothers got this.
I got a precept to back up what you just said about, how true laws are supposed to be established in society. True laws is supposed to be all about, justice and balance, okay, and doing what's right, okay. But Esau has set up, like it just says, a throne of iniquity, where he set up a rulership that's all about, injustices and unbalances, okay, and wickedness and so on and so forth. But real quick, this is Leviticus chapter 19, verses 35 and 36. All right, Leviticus 19, verse 35. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in metyard, in weight, or in measure. Verse 36. Just balances, just weights, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have. All right, which ultimately, he was telling this to the nation of Israel.
Yeah, man. You got to be weighed on that scale of righteousness, man. You don't want to have too much of this, too little of this.
Yeah.
The scriptures tell you, Yahweh said what? though thou art lukewarm, I will spew you out of my mouth. You want to be either hot for this thing or just totally out the way, man. It would have been better for you to not know him. You got to have that balance, but ultimately, like the brother brought out, beautiful point, that balance comes from the Lord, man. And I got one after y'all brothers.
All right.
Because Esau's weighed in the balance too, man. Israel is weighed, and we're just ultimately found righteous. And we're found with that ding, like you get that perfect measurement. That's Israel. But Esau is going to be found in an unweighed measurement. Imbalance. You got it, I got one after y'all.
This is Isaiah 5:20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter," man. And that's what his laws, man. And everything else that he does, man. All right, pertaining to like the things that we were just not going over, man. All right, GMO foods. All right, unbalanced justice system. All right, laws. Okay, and many other things, man, that he does, man. All right, there's no balance. All right, within the earth, man. That's why so much wickedness running rapid. It says
some always subject to change here, man. It's never okay. Well, this is this, that is that. This place just gets worse and worse. Laws, okay, one day we're gonna legalize this. Next minute it's illegalized. Now it goes back to being legalized. But it's all to do what? You trying to upset prophecy, man. There's nothing you could do, Esau. The Most High weighed you in a balance, man. And you're found wanting. You're found unacceptable. Improper. Imbalanced, man. Unrighteous. Y'all brothers got something? I got something after y'all.
I got a definition of the word amendment.
Oh, the water.
All right.
You can bring it up.
All right, Khan. Now, this is real quick. This is the definition of the word amendment from Google. All right. It says a minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, etc.
An addition. The Most High speaks against additions, man. We don't add anything to this. We don't take anything away, man. That's perfect order. Esau don't deal with that, man. Esau says, well, one day I'm gonna add this onto it. Oh, then I'm gonna come back and take it away. Then I'm gonna add more. Then I'm gonna take a little away. That's imbalanced, man. That's unrighteous, man. You can't do that, Esau. And the Most High is tired of you, man. And he sent out the elect to come and pronounce your downfall, man. This place is crumbling. It's over with, man. This place could literally pop up any minute. When we leave this facility where we at right now, Lord knows we might see a calamity that just totally takes this place in another gear, man. That's what we're looking for. Prophecy that's taking this place to the next gear to where it ultimately comes to that Revelation 13:16, this place destroyed, man. I got one after y'all.
I was gonna say real quick because Esau, he's always trying to find ways to change things up, change things within his laws and society and things like that. And the scripture speaks about in the book of Proverbs, meddle not with them that are given to change. So here it is. You got a lot of our people that still believe in this beast system, still believe in this politics, but it's always changing up on them.
Yeah.
Okay, in the scriptures, plainly tells us to meddle not with him that that's always giving them to change. Now, I'll give you a prime example. Now, here it is as of lately, because you have all these mass shootings taking place. Now Esau is trying to change up his definition of what is a so-called mass shooting, because now he's trying to change it up to where now, because here it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because your so-called and if your definition was as accurate and precisely as you said it was, these so-called things that's happening around the United States right now, it's not so-called mass shootings, according to him, right?
Yeah.
Because he defines a mass shooting as well. Like we were bringing it up.
For people going.
Or more people.
Yeah. Being injured.
Being killed.
Yeah, killed.
Being killed. Not including injuries. He's including the injuries. Esau's including the injuries and calling it mass shooting. He's a double-tongued Negro, man. Nigga.
And if I could say this, man, this is how of a devil that this man is, because when we speak about mass shooting, we already know in our mind that who is that going to be mostly? Esau Edom, man. All right, because that's mostly who's in the news doing those things.
Right.
All right. So the crazy thing about it is that now they're saying that they're going to involve so-called black-on-black crime as mass shootings as well.
Yeah.
And what is that going to do, man? All right, that's going to create a flood that weighs out the balance of Esau being a devil that he is, man, a killer, a murderer. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's trying to cover up his tracks, man. All right, showing that he's really the one who who be doing these massacres, man. All right, but he's gonna say that Jake is the problem. You got it, y'all?
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Well, I was just gonna say real quick, because now, when you do your statistics or whatever, when you do your research, okay, according to what Esau currently defines as a mass shooting, right? When you look at the stats, Esau, leads the way, okay, by a large margin as far as what he considers a mass shooting. So now he's trying to change up, the wording in the laws and whatnot as far as what defines as a mass shooting to now, accommodate to Jake, into how Jake is killing up his own people, and ultimately, what is that ultimately going to further do? That's that's going to further allow Esau to accuse Jake, okay, and label Jake as the number one mass shooter on the planet Earth, and to ultimately do what? To justify Esau coming after Jake, okay, and trying to wipe Jake off, But that's pretty much all I will say on that.
All right. This is Isaiah 29 and 15. It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the works say of him that made it, Who made me not? Or shall he frame, or shall the thing framed say of him that formed it, shall have no understanding?"
Right,
So,
yeah.
So basically, man, Esau is turning, again, things upside down, man, with his laws and things like that, man. All right. It says unto them that seek to hide their counsel, man. All right, and as we just not going over, man, what, man, they're causing mischief and things like that pertaining to what's going on with these gun laws, man. All right. But you got to talk about it.
Yeah, man. Should the thing, like backing the brother up, should the thing that is Esau, you're the thing that's framing, man. Can you say to the Most High, well, I framed you, Yahweh? No, man. And that's what he's ultimately going to try to do. But, hey, man, the Most High has a sense of humor, man. Ain't no way in hell Esau has a shot at defeating the Most High and the holy angels, man. And here you have the Most High is putting that spirit in him, all right, that's rousing him up to think he's going to defeat them, man. And the spirit is going to be on these other militaries or these other nations to think they're going to defeat the Most High, man. But I got two quick ones. Because as we were saying, this kingdom is numbered and it's weighed, but it's found wanting. Israel, the elect pertaining to us, we're numbered and weighed and found righteous, man, a righteous balance. All right? This is 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at 18 because the brother brought out that word amendment, right? But Esau's amendments are to ultimately frame his mischief, persecute the elect, put us in a position to where we're seen as the ones that are putting these mass shootings out, doing all this crime, and that way he has an excuse to persecute us. But guess what the Most High's amendments are? It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 17, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginnings of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, man. Famine and great death. So even if you try to put a cap on mass shootings, or even if you try to blow it out of proportion, Esau, you're not going to blow it out of proportion to the extent the Most High, because it's going to be even greater death than that, man. To what Esau stepping back and saying, We can't control these numbers anymore. It's outrageous. It's getting out of our hands. We have no control of this, but you're going to still fight, man, and get embarrassed. All right? It says 2 Ezra 16 and 20 and 18, Salakia. And here it says, the beginning of wars and powers, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come, man? These other powers are going to stand in fear, man. Esau, Edom, Creflo Dollars, Geno Jennings, ISUBK, IUIC, all these other so-called powers, starting with the head of them, man, who the Most High said he'll have a controversy with in a, how do you say it? In I believe it's in Deuteronomy with Amalek from generation. I will make war, Salakia. I will make war with Amalek from generation to generation, man, until you be blotted out, man. All right? But it says, and here's the point, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, man, to change this place and shake this place up, man. Ultimately, to render it found wanting, man, in the balance. We're going to back this up this real quick. Daniel 5, this is the book of Daniel 5, and I'm going to start at 24. It says, then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written, many tekel of parson. A parson, it says, this is the interpretation of the thing. And this is going into the fall of Babylon, being given into the hands of what? Medo-Persians, all right? With the last king, Belshazzar, all right? And this is the Most High told them, man. And this is ultimately leading up and a reflection of what's going to happen to America, man. But instead of being given into the hands of the Medo-Persians, it's going to be given into the hands of the elect, man. Israel, all right? Starting with Yahweh Shah, but it says, this is the interpretation of the thing. Many, the Most High had numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. You could like it on, that kingdom is divided up and given unto Israel, man. All right? We're going to possess and inherit you heathens, man. And this land. And our rightful land, Jerusalem, man. Which is going to be brought back from the sword, pertaining to Ezekiel 38. But it says, they commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And ultimately, what? This kingdom, the elect are going to be the rulers, man. In that third temple, all right? In the kingdom of heaven, man. And you got the prophet Daniel, and that's synonymous to what the elect is doing, man. Having visions, interpreting to them, all right? Being before these great kings, man, and the Most High showing his power through us, man. We're living in those times, man. We're about to see some very great, marvelous things, and we're about to see some horrible things, man. But like me and the brother was saying, we're going to have to see some things, go through some things, but inherit everything, man. John Brothers got it.
Hey, real quick, can you read that 2 Ezra 16 one more time? Because I got some on that word amendment.
All right, all right. Where you want me to start from?
Well, the scripture where it says all these scourges for amendment.
All right. 2 Ezra 16 and 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Right.
So the brother just read all these things are sent for as, scourges for amendment. Now, real quick, going back to the definition of the word amendment from Google, I'm going to read it again. It says a minor change or addition designed to improve a text, piece of legislation, etc. So here it is. The word amendment basically, ultimately goes into improve something, or in other words, what? To correct something. So here it is, as the brother just read. All the plagues that the Most High is going to bring upon the earth. Death, famine, the sword, destruction, and all these things. They're all, the Lord is going to send all these things upon the society for the purpose of what? Correction. Improving the society, so to speak. But as I believe, if you keep reading in that chapter, it also talks about how, as the Most High brings these things upon the earth, the people around the world, are not going to repent from all these things. Okay, mainly, especially our people, because here it is. The main reason that the Most High is getting ready to bring these things upon the earth is to bring judgment primarily upon his people. Hence why it's known as what? The time of Jacob's trouble. That the Most High would, judgment will begin at the house of the Most High, like it says in First Peter the 4th chapter. But you know, our people refuse to receive correction. You know, this world refuses to receive correction, even in the midst of all these things that we see happening around the world, the famine, the death, and so on and so forth. And so that's ultimately going to justify the Most High to do worse than what He did during the time of the flood, which in this case now is going to flood, you know, certain parts of the world, not with water, but with fire, okay, which is the ultimate cleansing agent. You know, it's going to cleanse all the filth and pollution and wickedness from off the face of the earth, okay? That's pretty much all.
Hey, we will take it out on this verse right here. This is backing up the point. 2nd Ezra 16 and 20. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, man. So all the corrections, all the amendments, the famines, pestilence, all right, different things and judgments that the Most High is sending on the earth, they're not going to turn from their wickedness, neither are they going to be mindful of it. So they're not even going to be considering that the Most High is correcting this place and going to destroy it, man. That's a sad and that's a despicable way and a despicable case to go out and end on, man. You want to be remembered as that, man? Not even being aware of the things that happen here in America, man? Coming back in Hebrew Huggies? Lord willing, that don't be us. Lord willing, we are that number. But with that, all right, we'll turn face to east. We give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Al-Kakadash. Double honors to the positive great millstone, who rule and the teacher and the worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing to you, Akim, pushing out this truth across the four corners during these last sections of time. Call me Ashala, Baba, Shalom. See you, Akim, on the highways, byways, Lord willing, tomorrow. Shalom.